Hey, what is up 5-9 gamers? Welcome back to another Tournament of Power video, season 21. And today I'm going to show you the safest and the max point routes, as well as the best teams you can use that are full Z tier that should help you maximize your scores and secure those 1000 chrono crystals. So yeah, before we go in, as always, leave a like, subscribe. I'll wait. Thanks, Timmy. Alright, now let's jump in. Okay, so let's start off with the routes. Part 1 of the map, you can see the safe route in green, the max points route in red. And you might wonder, why isn't the safe route using the bonus fight? And I checked, the bonus fight is not fun. It has Gohan, Kaioken, Goten, Birdcoo, 18 and GT Vegeta, and that GT Vegeta debuffs you turn 2. You can't kill him before because everybody's going to attack Gohan, so just don't do that fight. Just go on the 3-fist battle. Also, it's only a small bonus, you know, it's just 20%, so it's not that important. You can just take the safer route. Don't worry about that. And of course, if you take the max points route, you actually have a lot of 4-fist battles in between where you can heal, so you can try and just go all out, but you also need to remember that the damage you take directly impacts the score. So take as little damage as you can, but heal on the 4-fist battles potentially with your healers, with your, you know, lower HP units, so you can use them back on the boss fights, on the bonus fights, or later in the season. And now let's have a look at the map part 2, and you can see there is a little bit of a flusterduck going on here for the max point route. You can just basically pick and choose whatever you want, whatever fits your team's best. So if you're playing movies, for example, and you have Goku and there's a hybrids battle, you can just take that and do more damage to them and take less for them. Or, you know, take whatever you need. Don't forget, at the end, you get to choose which of the final battles you want to do, but I do recommend taking that Bojack fight for both the safe and the max point route, because the other fight, again, you see Gohan, there's Kaioken Goku, and there's Birdcoo. Or is it Goten and Birdcoo? Either way, those are not the fights you want to be taking because they're not easy, they're annoying. Gohan is very tanky turn 1. He gets healed by 18. Just do the Bojack fight, it's a really easy one. It has like Dispo, UI Goku, Topo. So there's a taunt, but everybody else is just whatever. So yeah, that's that much for the routes. As always, let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, and let's move over to the teams. Team number 1, probably the team I want to try out just because of that new revival Frieza, is Lineage of Evil. And as you can see here, you have a healer that is, what's his face, Metal Cooler. You have, you know, full power Frieza who heals himself a bit. You have the other Zenkai Frieza on the bench. So, you know, especially now that the full power Frieza got a Zenkai, you want to take him over the LF full power Frieza. My LF full power is also at 14 stars, but, you know, he just doesn't have the same stats the Zenkai units have. You have the purple Frieza there for support, and he strike covers the entire board. And Zenkai Chilled also Zenkai buffing that Frieza, so that helps a lot. You have Cooler for support as well there. And of course, new revival Frieza that, you know, revives. All the good stuff. And Metal Cooler is in there also because he outspeeds Goten turn 2 after transforming, and you want to attack Goten before he gets to Super You, obviously, for obvious reasons. So yeah, that's LOE. You could potentially take the red Frieza, the transforming one, into Golden over Metal Cooler, but Metal Cooler has more healing and he has Zenkai stats, so I recommend using him if you have him Zenkai'd already. Otherwise, you can use red Frieza. Otherwise, there's not much wiggle room in this team, so if you don't have too many of those units, also you can see the LF full power Frieza is not Z tier. Maybe pick a different team. For example, you could pick Saiyans. Saiyan's always a classic, right? You can see here we have Kaioken Goku who gets a special every fight. We have Red GT Kid Goku and Vegeta who both get a special every other fight because they get a 50% to their ultimate or their super gauge every fight, plus they're also loading up their gauge, you know, through the fights and so on. We have the Green Extreme Namek Goku as a healer. Use him only if you have high stars. Same for Kaioken Goku. You know that he is very squishy in PvP, and this will apply to TOP as well, so I recommend 9 stars or above. We have Birdcoo as another healer here. Birdcoo gives support and heals whenever he gets attacked 3 times, 3%. Now the yellow GT Vegeta, he debuffs the enemies in turn 2, and they will take a lot more damage, which means you will be able to kill them much more quickly. And then Napapapa just for funsies. Now you could probably also take the yellow Zenkai 7 Otherworld Goku over one of the other yellows, but I think that this team is pretty much the best you want to do for Z tier. The next team, classic Son family / Android 18. Here you can see we don't take Namek Goku because he only heals once per fight for 5%. And Android 18 heals, I believe, 2%, and regardless of the attack, or even 3% per turn, so 12% in total. So you have her as a healer, you also have the Birdku as a healer, and you always want to use that combo with 18 and the Gohan, so you can heal Gohan back up before the fight ends, so he doesn't, because the damage taken is at the end. So if you heal him back to full HP, that basically means that he didn't take any damage in that fight, and that means you don't lose any points. Red GT Kid Goku and Kaioken are there as well. We already saw that. Goten as always for the special. Now the Otherworld Goku is here for support, and the purple Goten, he just does crazy amounts of damage. Like when I played him last season, you hopefully watched the last guides, he did insane amounts of damage with his blasts, and yeah, many of those units have an ultimate as well, so you can upgrade their special move to an ult and have even more fun. Now if that's not your kind of team, you can play GT, and you can see we brought both the golden and the blue Pycon, aka Nova and Ice Shenron. Both of them have a shield, Ice against strikes, but he immobilizes the enemy for the next turn so they can't attack, and Nova has the bubble shield against everything, strike and blast. We also have Super 17 with his blast absorption, and he also absorbs special moves, so as long as it's like a Kamehameha or an energy ball or something like that, absorbs it. We already talked about GT Vegeta and GT Kid Goku, so no need to go into details there. And yes, the blue GT Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku nullifies one attack turn 1, or basically he inflicts can't attack to one unit of your opponent's team in turn 1. So that's very helpful. And the baby Vegeta, you know it, Goresh knows it, best unit in the game, right? He debuffs, no, he supports the team. He supports the entire, the team, the 3 tiles ahead of him. So basically if you put him in the back row right now, then you would get a support for Kid Goku, Super 17 and GT Vegeta. And he supports them with damage and I think key recovery. Now if you don't want to bring Nova because his stars are too low, you can also bring Majub, who also supports and heals himself. So that's your one little choice there, but I can see that Majub is not Z tier, so do that at your own discretion. You could potentially also bring Elef Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but you know, high stars are needed, or Sin Shenron, who also debuffs the opponent, but again, he needs very high stars because otherwise he trash. The next team, since we used Android 18 before, Androids! And on Androids, obviously you want to use Android 18 as a healer. Super 17 is also set there, and you use the red Zenkai cell for stats if you need a red unit. You don't want to bring more than 2 red units though. Now you can see we have 3 greens, you know, Super 17, 16, who can also protect 18 with his blast cover and taking like 60% damage cut, and it is not restricted by HP, so he always saves her when she's catching a blast. Now the green cockroach cell, he takes away special move gauge of your opponent, which is usually not that helpful because either the opponent doesn't get their special move, or you know, they do it in one go, like Kaioken for example, filling up his gauge and then just special moving unless you manage to attack him before. And yeah, Blue 8, basically Tournament of Power 18 and 17 are there as well. Helpful, special move gauge 50% up for the blue 18, and the yellow 17 is just a damage dealer. Same for 18 yellow, but her key recovery sucks, so she will almost always attack last in the turn, even against her opponents at friendship level 10. So keep that in mind. Key restore speed is hugely important when you're determining your attack order. This plus friendship rank 10. Always friendship rank 10 your units, because that gives them a 5% buff to every single stat in TOP, including Key Restore, which makes them attack earlier than your opponents. Because if you have a Buhan, let's say, and they have a Buhan, but yours has a 5% higher Key Recovery, you super theirs first, they don't get to attack, boom, you take less damage. Stonks. Now let's move on. The next team we have here is movies. And that one's a little bit tricky this season because we decided to not bring both of the Bojacks, and that is because they do not outspeed Goten in turn 1. Or rather saying that the purple one doesn't, and the red one only does after transformation, and when he transforms, his ultimate arts cards cannot, or awakened arts card, it cannot kill. It's so annoying that it can't even kill on TOP. So instead, we opted for, well, Birdku, of course, healer, supporter. We have the yellow Otherworld Goku again, support. We have the green Return of Cooler movie Goku plus Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, who are having enough key recovery to outspeed Goten and kill them. Same for Metal Cooler, so this is just there to help to kill the Goten fights more easily. We have Purple Janemba, who's basically a wall. Green Trunks, who can heal himself. And we have the blue Transforming Gokua against any and all Hybrids teams. But actually on some of those fights where you have Kaioken, you might want to bench him, take the 2 greens, because they attack later in the turn and they can attack Kaioken turn 2 and hopefully get rid of him. So yeah, this team is a bit tricky. It's probably doable if you're, you know, very patient and take a lot of time to plan out your turns and you know what you're doing. But other than that, I would recommend you use a different team. For example, this one, and this is the last team of the video. It looks very fun and I would run it, but my Piccolo, Stretchy Arms Piccolo, you can see is only 7 stars. So I'm not sure about that. It's a hella yellow team. We have the Extreme Piccolo as the healer. He heals the 4 spots on the outside if he is placed in the middle. We have DKP as a damage dealer, Piccolo, as Abs likes to call him, or the Legends Road Zenkai 7 Piccolo. He supports all Piccolo units, which is why this is almost a full Piccolo team. The Transforming LF Piccolo supers in turn 3. Kami Piccolo is just, you know, Zenkai Juggernaut with blast cards. We again have the defensive wall that is Purple Janemba and Stretchy Arms Piccolo. But again, he needs stars, otherwise he will take heavy damage, especially in fights where there are blue units, but then you would probably bench him anyways. So let me know in the comments if you're running a different team, if I missed anything, and what team you're going to run this season. Are you going to take the safe route? Are you going to take the max points route? And what is your goal? I'm going to obviously try the max points route and go for top 50. Last season, I think I missed it by 4 places. I went 54th. So let's see if we can do better this season. I hope you are successful as well. I'll wish you good luck, and I'll see you in part 1 of the walkthrough. Bye, everybody.